introducing a whole new format to the show where we have a panel. That way I am not the one running my mouth, having my opinion, and I don't seem biased toward one thing. So now we have 3 mouths plus mine, so you know, the good-looking guy over here. We have Thad Marshall, Seth Cotter, and Kyle Engstrom. Today we're discussing Halo 4, PlayStation All-Stars, and the Wii U. Alright, gentlemen, let's start the ball rolling with Halo 4. 4 years after Halo 3, we find Master Chief still adrift heading for that Forerunner planet later identified as Requiem. The Forerunner Dawn is soon surrounded by a Covenant fleet, and the Chief with Cortana must fight their way off. This sets up the campaign, which if you're playing on normal, should be about 4 to 5 hours. COD fans will feel at home with the multiplayer. Large amounts of customization from armor configurations, loadouts, and weapon skins. Firefight is unfortunately absent, but is replaced with Spartan Ops, a multiplayer campaign set 6 months after the regular campaign. The new Promethean weapons, in my personal opinion, are hit and miss. Only about 1 or 2 are really usable. The plasma rifle has been replaced with the storm rifle, which honestly I dislike. The battle rifle is back, and a few other new human weapons appear, which they're also about hit or miss, so it depends on your personal preference. With a decent campaign, solid multiplayer, and any Halo fan will enjoy this, I must recommend looking into the books, Grassland, Thursday War, and the Forerunner trilogy. They add some important backstory, which if you just jump into the game, you will be lost with. But you can just go to the Halo Wicca and probably just do the synopsis and you'd be fine without.
Very easy.
Very easy. Alright, gentlemen, I'll open the floor. Opinions.
Basically, a big standout for me is Assassinations, actually. They updated the animation for that. It's very brutal now. It's very like, I'm gonna come up and just snap your neck, you know? Very fun.
Very fun?
Yeah, campaign-wise, I mean, you guys can interrupt me too. I played all 3 games, not extensively, so I just found out, like, you said 5 hours, I'm like halfway through the game now, so. But,
I'd say it felt more like Halo 2, where the campaign was very short and the ending left you with wanting more.
Yeah.
But then again, this is the first one of a new trilogy that 343 and Microsoft's doing, so.
Yeah, is it called the Forerunner trilogy now?
The Reclaimer trilogy.
Reclaimer, this is Forerunner was the original.
The Forerunner trilogy is the books. The Reclaimer trilogy is
way off.
I have not yet played Halo 4. I mean, I'm not too much of a Halo fan, but that doesn't mean I don't play the games. I've played plenty of multiplayer from the first one from the original Xbox, some Halo 2, and very little Halo 3. That's about it.
Now, me, I'm not a big Halo fan. I've played all the games except for Reach. And I've played just a short amount of Halo 4. I've probably played about an hour or so of multiplayer just with some friends. And the biggest thing that I've heard complaint-wise from people is the length of the campaign. And I've heard from multiple people they just think it's too short and they're simply not getting their money's worth. And the multiplayer has been good. I mean, as far as a shooter can go, it seems balanced, it seems to work well, but I think a lot of people are kind of mad about the campaign length.
Well, one of the complaints I heard was that a lot of the campaign missions were copies of other games. Like, there was one campaign mission where you have to escort a giant truck, and then a couple of your
Like other Halo games or any game?
Any game. There's this giant truck mission from what a friend of mine said, it was a definite copy of Gears of War.
Was that the giant like carrier?
Giant truck that just goes around, you're escorting it, and then a couple Pelicans get shot down, you have to go extract something from it, and then, which someone said it was a definite rip-off of Gears. And then,
at the same point though, Halo is a first-person shooter, and it's a clone of every other first-person shooter out there. How many more missions can they come up with?
Right.
I mean, you're with the type of first-person game that they're doing, you're stuck with attacking things or defending things. And from that, you can't really move out a whole lot to do much else in a first-person shooter the way that Halo's built.
I another thing I wanted to say on that was like the campaign, like hearing that people would think it's not long enough. You gotta take quality over quantity into account too.
They definitely put more quality.
I would
into
much
it.
rather have a more quality experience
Yeah,
that's only like 3 hours long.
From
compared
looking,
to that.
from looking into Reach to this, they definitely look like they upped the graphics just a bit.
Oh, definitely. The CG is a beautiful modern
Mhm.
game. Like, but
Alright, we'll move on to PlayStation All-Stars. This game, I've only played bits and tidbits. Mr. Seth, you've owned it, you've played it.
I'm nowhere near a master, but yeah.
You own it, so you're definitely a step ahead of me.
Me too.
I'm the master of you guys.
Essentially, this game, which a lot have called a Smash Brothers rip-off, which after I've played it, I can only say that's idea in words only. It has it looks like the concept of a brawl game, but with PlayStation characters, but after playing it just a few times, I mean, I can definitely say that doesn't seem the case. Would you agree?
I would say Smash Brothers is a good starting off point for that game, but honestly, it feels more like a fighter, like a straight up technical. I guess that would be a good word to say.
So it's more of a Street Fighter game or
Yeah, on the
something
level.
along that lines where it's a little more technical than
Yeah.
just smashing buttons on Super Smash Brothers.
Exactly. Like I faced off with one kid who plays Sackboy, and he would just wipe the floor with me. It's like I'm Kratos. It's like yeah, I'm powerful, but
It's kind of a frightening picture of Sackboy whipping
I
Kratos.
it's more like throwing a pie in your face. But yeah, like the main thing is you can't really kill the other characters unless you use your supers, and the entire fight is just building up your super. There's no damage meter. There's just get those supers and kill them.
That's when you have to
automatically.
hit R1 and L1 at the same time, right?
I think it's just R2 by itself.
Is it?
Actually, I think so.
Now, level-wise, the levels that I've seen is just a mashup of whatever that Sony felt like they could just throw in. I think I saw from the DJ game
Parappa the Rapper.
Parappa the Rapper, and
They actually put Parappa the Rapper stuff
Yeah,
in
he's
that?
a
the
playable
level is a
character, too.
level.
That's amazing.
Level and a character. And I think-
Someone should get bonus points for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was pretty excited myself.
what other elements did they throw into that level? Because I know it was the starting level, but then all of a sudden,
Yeah, all the levels mix up. Like,
right?
because I just know the standout for me was Hades from God of War and some like Patapons moving.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what's this?
It's like one bad acid trip.
Yeah. But something that bugged me though was they have Big Daddy the character from
Mhm.
Bioshock, but it's Bioshock Infinite levels in the game. You don't go to Rapture, you go to Columbia. It's like the
See, I didn't
sense.
notice that.
That's
yeah,
weird.
like the Ratchet and Clank.
I guess it was just a little
Columbia.
promotion there for the Infinites game.
Yeah, but you'd think they put in like the Handyman or the Songbird even. Man.
One of the things I didn't like is they made Evil Cole and Good Cole two separate characters.
Yes.
That seems kind
Well,
of wasteful.
It is.
I don't see that as a bad thing because I mean in the course of a fighter game where you're essentially selecting your character, there's no real time in the game to be considered good or evil, and since he does have separate powers based on that, I mean it kind of makes sense that way, I guess.
Well, like I was thinking in Super Smash Brothers, you know, if you pick Zelda, you can turn into Sheik. Why?
Yeah.
They could have done something along that line.
Or Link too.
That's very
you can
true.
use Dark Link as a color scheme.
Yeah.
So
Would that make him overpowered though if you could do that?
just separate, just
She-
put in some
well,
good powers.
that
Well,
was
see,
wrong.
Zelda has different. Zelda's more about her magic and projectiles, as Sheik is all
Yeah.
fighting and speed.
Oh,
So it really all depends on your preference. So,
It's true.
what about downloadable content? Have they announced anything for that yet?
they have. It's passing my mind right now. They have 2 more characters coming. I know for sure.
I'm sure Crash is
Not yet.
not yet.
No,
Wow.
I don't know if Sony will be able to because I don't think they have rights
Somebody
to
else,
Crash
yeah,
Bandicoot
somebody
right now.
else has Crash.
No,
Yeah, 'cause didn't Crash like show up on the DS at some point too?
yeah,
And the PlayStation 2.
I don't think
GameCube.
Sony has rights to Crash right now, so they might not be able to use him.
Oh, that'd be unfortunate.
Kind of hoping for
I can't-
Spyro too in the same way, but
Oh, I'm sure.
I can't think of who has Crash right now, but I'm pretty sure it's not Sony.
All right.
Alright, so the Wii U. Do we think that it survived the holidays? Or at least I believe it survived the holidays. Nintendo's new console with a radical departure from the standard controller, the new tablet controller. Well, what are our general opinions? Because I don't own it. It's too little price. I'm kind of sketchy on it. Just
Yeah, I feel the same. The whole tablet and looking at that and looking at the screen.
kind of a DS
Yeah.
feel, but
Just stick to the DS or play your Wii games.
I think they're gonna have like DS connectivity as well, like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like the advanced did with the GameCube.
more screens at once.
Oh my god!
The
But,
PSP and the PS3 did that.
Yeah, they have crossplay. But yeah, Wii U's got a lot of potential. Just we have yet to see it. And
Yeah.
it just got off the ground. So
Yeah, I know what I think right now. I think it's definitely got potential, and they could do some really interesting stuff with original IPs if they came up with some. But I also think in their existing IPs that they will keep reiterating, like Mario, Zelda, that kind of stuff. I think they'll be really limited on their integration of that tablet, just because it'll change the gameplay so much. It'll create a different experience than what people want out of those games, I think. And I think it's just going to be really awkward, having a second screen that you have to focus here, then switch your focus down here, come back. It works really well for the DS because both screens are in really close proximity, but for something like this where one screen's in one area of focus and one's in the other, I think it'll be kind of weird.
the big thing will just be let's wait and see. I guess I'm personally waiting for Zelda and Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
HD.
we don't even have that big of a library right now.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the drawbacks.
And like you said with new IPs, like what new IPs has Nintendo made in recent years? Like I'm
Not
trying to
many.
think. I
Not
can't think of
many
any.
at all.
They do revisit. I mean, the gold stuff is classic.
Yeah.
It can endure, but yeah, they're gonna have to. They might want to come up with something new.
Ratings, alrighty. Let's go to start the ball rolling with Halo 4. Good multiplayer, decent campaign. A few nitpicks here and there. Just doesn't quite make it the perfect game that a lot of people make it out to be. So I want to give it a 4 out of 5. For good multiplayer campaign's a little weird, but with the first of a new trilogy, the Bungie is not the helm at. It was a good start, good solid start. You said you haven't played
Right,
it,
but
so
most of the Halo games do pretty decent, so I'd have to agree with your 4 for not playing it.
okay.
So,
Yeah, for me, Halo fans know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Of course, quality over quantity is what I like to live by, and it's a good experience. So I'm gonna say 4 out of 5.
I'd have to give it a 3.5 out of 5. From what I've played, if you're into multiplayer games, it'll be a great game for you. If you're a really big Halo fan, it'll be a great game for you. If you're just there for a really deep single-player kind of story and experience, you might be better off going to another game.
Alright, so rounding it out, that's 3 4 stars, 1 3.5. So we're gonna go ahead and round it up to a 4 stars out of 5.
Bam!
I gotta bring you back just to do that.
That's when I swipe, you just move it off the screen.
Right, it's exactly what I'll
Very
do.
cool.
Alright, next up is PlayStation Battle Royale, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Quite the zany little thing that makes it stand alone from Smash Bros. Brawl, makes it its own little thing. DLC on the way, crazy stages, crazy character combinations and whatnot. From not playing it all that often, not owning it, but still playing it here and there, I'd have to say, from what I saw what I like, 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna have to go with a 3.5. It was very fun for me, but it's just one of those, party games. It's not something I want to get home from work and say, oh, I'm gonna go play All Stars. I'm sure there's gonna be some DLC, and there's probably. Is there a lot of unlockables like Smash Brothers? No.
There's actually no. Everything's pretty much there for you.
See, that
when you
was the
start
fun
out.
thing with Smash Brothers is you could unlock stuff.
Which took ever.
Yeah, it did. But no, it's a great game. I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna stick with it.
I'm gonna go with 4.5. Yeah, the lack of unlockables is, sad, but at the same time, I like having everything. It's right there. You turn on the game, you don't have to do anything. You got everything ready, waiting to go for you. It is a party game, true. Single player is fun, but you can't do it forever.
But I enjoy that for what it is. I think it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of potential. It's a good start, definitely, if they're going to franchise this. So I'm going to give 4 out of 5.
And I haven't played it, so there you go.
Okay, so a 3.5 and 2 4s. We'll round it back up to 4 out of 5. And Mr. Potter, if you want to just do a little, I feel like 4 out of 5.
I was going to give it a little pause there.
You're gonna give it a little. Alrighty.
Alright.
Alright. Now, finally, the Wii U. We really don't have a rating for this since it is a console, not really a game. But people, should they go out and buy this, or should they just wait just a bit and see what happens? Personally, I think they should wait. You know, all the games aren't really there at the moment, but potential's there. So
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of potential. That's really it. I mean, the specs are up nice. They've got competition on the way, but it's the games that make or break the system. So we're gonna have to wait and see. If you're a Nintendo fanatic, I mean, yeah, go out and buy it. You're gonna enjoy it. But for most everyone else, probably give it a little breathing room.
We don't have a game library.
I would say wait on it. It's just without any real definitive software that's kind of defining the console yet, where you really don't know what direction it's going to take. It's kind of an unknown there. And like we said earlier, you know, CES is coming up, and you know that Sony and Microsoft could have some really interesting stuff up their sleeves.
alrighty, so the Wii U probably should just hang back, wait and see what happens. Hopefully by summer this thing's finally fully taken off.
We'll see some Zelda and Super Smash Bros.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
And a new Metroid title.
Oh, please. Gaming gods, please hear our prayers.
Please don't make Samus into a girly girl.
Yeah.
I don't want to shoot my gun because my master said not to. But I'm a bounty hunter.
Oh,
It's a terrible idea!
It is.
yes, enough that horrible, horrible game. Well, I'd like to thank our panel, Matt Marshall, Seth Potter, Kyle Langstrom. I hope you guys will come back. I hope you enjoyed our new format. Hope you guys are willing to come out. You're very knowledgeable. You're very polite.
Well,
You're good with the screen. You're very, you know, you're just good people. You're just good, solid people.
You know, yourself, Sam.
Thank you very much. Alrighty. Well, I'd like to thank you again. This has been Tanner Day telling you to keep on streaming.